Conscious coons play tough in email wars, back and forth like waves crashing on seashores. Questioning my MC skills like magistrates when KKK men treat you like the savages. Why? Cause they uphold the Constitution. Dred Scott could tell you ex-slaves lack a constitution. In war, for some there's collateral damage. Moors are the shrine of maggots. Take heed, matter of fact, take this book that I know you won't read or take a look. Won't even turn one page in it. That's why I'm finished. Teaching y'all the game. Y'all just love the scrimmage. Run to YouTube to quote Minions' opinions. That stroke your chakras, got you thinking that's wisdom. Knowledge of self means get knowledge of self. You can tap the cell memory on the DNA shelf. Can teach you how to be overt or stealth. Black Peter is sent a slave. That's where they get the L's. For real. Told you I'm serious. I'm not joking. You might see the locks, but don't think that I'm smoking. Not cause hybrids claim Europe means that I'm roping and dunking them in fire and brimstone with lava molten. I quick to toss a rapper in the flaming pit and toss a sellout and a trader in the same pit. Rap and be a singers get tossed in two. So with all the Indians that aren't native Hindu, I rep Hannibal, not the cracker like Manson. The first black prez is a Morbo Astor. All these so-called players up in the rap game got brothers on the corner still with cook cocaine. All these so-called players up in the rap game got youth man trying to beat them, losing his brain. All these so-called players up in the rap game got sisters warring and daughters doing the same. All these so-called players up in the rap game. All these so-called players up in the rap game. You can talk the talk, but I won't trip. Since Iron Cheek, I'm asking to see a slave ship. Show me a slave ship bolt or a slave ship sail, a slave ship plank or a slave ship nail. I can show you. They would have drowned in piss from 4 months of urination in the big bottom ships. Sleeping on my hair, my neck is crooked for weeks, but chained for months. Slave jump up and hit the fields. All the black Indians got turned to Negro slaves, black and colored with Euro names on their graves. During Columbus expeditions, Moors got shipped to Europe and returned to be burned and whipped, branded, under and overhanded. Andrew Jackson tried to kill us when the Seminoles banded. Haitian Moors used Aruba, formed an alliance against serpentine fire through Omega science. All these so-called players up in the rap game got brothers on the corner still with cook cocaine. All these so-called players up in the rap game got youth man trying to beat them, losing his brain. All these so-called players up in the rap game got sisters warring and daughters doing the same. All these so-called players up in the rap game. All these so-called players up in the rap game.
Yo, Midnight. Yo, we got him, yo. Yo, we got him. Yeah, man. Just pull the rope on the guillotine, Midnight. Let's take it right now, man. Do it up right now.
Council with etheric elders in the waters of Nun. Reclined on the sun with my foot on the moon. Watching goddess on earth act like witches on brooms. Sipping milk and the honeydew and triple black boom. Touchdown, not subordinate but God sent. I'm the red and blue of Superman and Clark Kent. From beyond the sun to earth, Moabite marksman. Tongue double-edged scimitar, stay sharpened. Flag in the earth first, set up the post. Sea is the land, now the flag's in the boat. Back on the land, follow tears, the trail never ends. Albion Inquisitionists murdered my friends. Stole our culture, sell it to us as trends. Negro, blacks, and colors, stay out the culture blend. Touch your hair, tell you the style they liking. But jacket energy, hair on their neck back spiking. Off the heat of the devil, walking rebel. Why run when police come? Swinging his billy club, drunk off Seagrams. Invisible candle magic, suspect they see none. Pull torch, have them arrested for treason and under. I want bar numbers, put a lien on a straw man that's breaching his oath. Call Orishas, tell all the coon, go for his throat. Pickaxe, a cow tongue on parchment paper. Sprinkle clothes, put a hex on the MC, drop your flows. Take the water from your throat like doctors draining knees. Cause you use ankle weights, bones soft like cheese. Fart stink niggas eating things that's deceased. More rotten than the plan, the clan's plotting on me. Why? Knowledge as a money has me a millionaire. Giving knowledge away like I don't care. Christians tell me find Jesus before judgment comes. He's on the corner selling crack and killing his sons. Zombie brainwashed blacks are still blaming the guns. Point out Catholic priests, man, I'm blaming the nuns who killed Tate and Toba Chung. I'm blaming the streets who killed Prophet Drew Ali. I'm blaming a breach, saying for General Khalid and El Hajj Malik. Or killed cause nationality was in their speech. Things to make you go and thought to art. Happy-go-lucky rappers, 4 plus naught in infinite depths. Might as well hold your breath and let's see how far this rabbit hole goes to the left. I broke out the chamber, Allah's come in danger. I self-law, a master coming.
So we gotta pull up that one. You know we gotta pull up that one. Yo, midnight. Yo, we got him, yo. Yo, we got him. Yeah, man. Just pull the rope on the guillotine, midnight. Let's take it right now, man. Do it up right now.
Council with etheric elders in the waters of noon. Reclined on the sun with my foot on the moon. Watching goddess on earth act like witches on brooms. Sipping milk and the honeydew and triple black boom. Touchdown, not subordinate but God sent. I'm the red and blue of Superman and Clark Kent. From beyond the sun to earth, Moabite marksman. Tongue double-edged scimitar, stay sharpened. Flag in the earth first, set up the post. Sea is the land, now the flag's in the boat. Back on the land, follow tears, the trail never ends. I'll be on inquisitionists, murdered my friends. Stole our culture, sell it to us as trends. Negro, blacks, and colors, stay out the culture blend. Touch your hair, tell you the style they liking. But jacket energy, hair on their neck back spiking. Off the heat of the devil, walking rebel. Why run when police come? Swinging his billy club, drunk off Seagrams. Invisible candle magic, suspect they see none. Pull torch, have them arrested for treason and under. I want bar numbers, put a lien on a straw man that's breaching his oath. Call Orishas, tell all the coon, go for his throat. Pickaxe, a cow tongue on parchment paper. Sprinkle clothes, put a hex on the MC, drop your flows. Take the water from your throat like doctors draining knees. Cause they use ankle weights, bones soft like cheese. Fart stink niggas eating things that's deceased. More rotten than the plan, the clan's plotting on me. Why? Knowledge as a money has me a millionaire. Giving knowledge away like I don't care. Christians tell me find Jesus before judgment comes. He's on the corner selling crack and killing his sons. Zombie brainwashed blacks are still blaming the guns. Point out Catholic priests, man, I'm blaming the nuns who killed Tate and Toba Chung. I'm blaming the streets who killed Prophet Drew Ali. I'm blaming a breach, saying for General Khalid and El Hajj Malik. Or killed cause nationality was in their speech. Things to make you go and thought to art. Happy-go-lucky rappers, 4 plus naught in infinite depths. Might as well hold your breath and let's see how far this rabbit hole goes to the left. I broke out the chamber, Allah's come in danger. I self-law, a master coming with my angels. Iron Sheik, El Mac, can't let without the manger. Alpha Hexin, rap boule strangers. Broke out the chamber, Allah's come in danger. I self-law, a master coming with my angels. Iron Sheik, El Mac, can't let without the manger. Alpha Hexin, rap boule strangers. With cell phones, big brother is closer than steps. Most flush less, but inhale chem streams from jets. Even this God used to binge drink. Schlitz, not Vex, never braids, but waves and cameos without the step. No die, never had slits in the brows of the eye. I got conscious, no arrogance or acting obnoxious. 144,000, I'm saying less than that. With all these zombies with big ass shades and big ass hats, dressing like Lil Wayne, man, just baggy as slacks. Finger a dyke in the shotgun, then crabby a gats. She goes down for prostitution and find the grand. You for possession and for not washing your hands. It's still love, truth, peace, but put down the peace. Why we don't need them when we got justice and freedom. Your mind's a mess, trust me, I think you're possessed. Let me unhex you with a mudra of Baphomet, and that won't work unless you know being supreme. No chest has the Solomon crest, always frontin' warm in the Averex. My lowest form of thought is your apex. Iron Sheik X from the Mosque of Malcolm. Devil see me and get whacked without the powder talcum. Raise my sword, keep swinging, no meaning. Flow deep, call me aquamarine men, raising the lost city of Atlantis. When I speak, it's pictures I'm painting on your mental canvas. I broke out the chamber, Allah's come in danger. I self-law a master coming with my angels. Iron Sheik, immaculate without the manger. Alpha hexing, rap boule strangers. Broke out the chamber, Allah's come in danger. I self-law a master coming with my angels. Iron Sheik, immaculate without the manger. Alpha hexing, rap boule strangers.
There's a lot of Moors, peace and love. Canaanland Moors, Sunday. We're getting ice pelleted right now. We're getting ice pelleted right now. So we decided to cancel class today as far as at the temple is concerned, and, you know, do it from the comfort and warmth of indoors, even though it's April. So we're going to start up as usual with our readings to be read every meeting. Just so Moors can hear it from the Prophet, they can't say that they weren't told what's up. People like to play like they weren't told, and then want to play games. So, Prophet warns all Muslims, governors, ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. So, Prophet warns all Muslims, not just Moorish Science Temple of America only, all Muslims. Why? Because he's the Prophet. You know what I mean? This is Noble Drew Ali we're talking about. I'm not talking about one of these black leader people. So take heed if you resonate on the frequency of Muslim, whatever that means to you. You're not even going there. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical and agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your cards are for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. And just a side note on that, keep in mind that we know what love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice and all that stuff, 5 principles. We know that as Moors. As Muslims, we should know that, because remember, he's talking to everybody. But when these principles are violated and justice must then take its course, you better make sure it's not your head that justice is coming after, because you're playing around with people who are playing around, and you end up guilty by association, because you don't realize that people have been sent out here to play you and have you not give the credit where the credit is due, to make you bypass certain things. We're not bypassing. Man said to be read these every meeting. I can say that ever since we've started Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Divine and National Movement, we have been reading these letters, and everything in the letters have come to pass. We're not just reading letters because we're in some Moorish science cult and we worship Noble Drew Ali and all that BS. We already know what's up. We've already seen things manifest. They're trying to put you on game so that you can come assist with what we have to do as a people to get out this mess that we're in, that we got ourselves into. Because they know those guys did it, and then these guys didn't do anything. Everybody's involved. If the Moors enslaved black people, then everybody's involved because everybody's Moors. Stop picking sides when you want to look good for some video views. You don't want to deal with your issues that you caused in this mess that we have to deal with right now. Everybody's running from cleaning up the mess. Everybody's running from dishes, but everybody wants to eat though. Everybody wants to eat. Everybody wants to fill up the goddamn landfill, right? But not just wash the stuff. That's all. Nah, fill up landfills. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Better make sure it's not your head that justice is taking its course on. Playing games. Remember, this is Prophet warns all Muslims. You know what warning means? Have you looked up warn and warning? You should probably look that up. So you stop playing. You realize how serious it is, and dire things are happening right now. Watch out for these Johnny come lately. People just came yesterday trying to teach you something. They just came yesterday. They're trying to teach you something. They're probably one of these Katrina refugees sent somewhere else, and now they got a game now online, and now they're hooking you. Instead of them coming out and telling the story about what really went down there. Playing games with you. Only more stand for truth. Many people out here straight faking the people. Faking the people up. Oh, got them. Beer fake outs. Getting it for no reason. Just because. You don't want to recognize what it is. More than telling you what it is. What Noble Drew Ali brought. That's what it is. Ain't nothing else. Yeah, we know about all the other black leader guys. We know about them. We know, give thanks for your little work that you did. They ain't hating. But people are taking advantage of people's ignorance. So it's up to the people now. Right? As leadership, I'm telling you, watch all these people claiming that they're leaders and they're the ones to do something for you. Any of them. We're not talking about people who are in the temple only. We're talking about outside the temple. People who are claiming to be generals, they're sleeping in a bus station. All these people out here want to be the man. Haven't done anything for you. But when you go to the office, they got the big desk that you need the 5 guys to lift the desk and all that stuff. Everything polished down, frame stuff on the wall behind them and all that. Their fez is so clean, it looks like they don't even touch their fez. Their tassel's not raveling out or nothing like that. And you're taking them more serious? They even have a tassel ravel out so they could learn how to tie the tassel. None of that. Perfect fez guys. Watch for those guys. Watch for the perfect fez guys. The guys whose fez never do this type of stuff, right? And then you're just walking around with a little knob in your fez, nobody telling you anything. Right? The Moors whose stuff is like, watch for them Moors. And then also watch for the Moors who don't got fezzes and stuff like that, not even a turban. But we're Moors. We're Moors. This Noble Drew Ali, huh? He's not just some guy. And then you have all these guys out here. People want to chase those guys, get in BS, and then after they're calling Moors. Why don't you just come here from the start? Why are you waiting till you have to go to court to call Moors? Why you be with Moors before you said, give me the bag of guns? You didn't think it was convenient at that time to be Moors? Oh, but now that you're in some BS, now you want to be Moors. Well, oh, sorry, because you violated love, truth, peace, freedom, justice is taking its course on your head because you asked for it. You begged for it. You went on your knees and begged for the mayor of steel. And now you got it and you're complaining. Don't complain. Take your mayor of steel ride. You asked for it. You begged for it. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, make sure you go read the divine covenant of the Moorish movement so you know that you can't violate that. Then justice taking its course on your head again, just because you think you know something and you know your dumbass doesn't know anything, but you're still gonna come up here and make videos and stuff like that, trying to convince people that you have some process, some way of doing things to help the people. You haven't even saved yourself. You haven't saved yourself, but you're trying to save people. How are you drowning talking about, yeah, let me save you? You're drowning. Shouldn't you be asking for, oh, you know, I get it. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. If the prophet's not right, the temple's not right. Well, if the temple's not right, that means the prophet's not right. And the only way the prophet's not right is because the temple's not right. And when you look at the temple right now, you realize that it's not right. So it shouldn't really be hard to figure out why stuff is how the stuff is. Because temple hasn't been right. You know, they don't really get mad. Just recognize who the people who weren't right. Check them off on the not right list so you don't mess with them ever again. And then you get with some Moors who's right, because there's Moors out here. Moor just messaged me just now. Just bumped into a Moor. This Moor has been where he lived forever. Been on birthrights. You know, man, this is, ain't nobody waking up out here, man. It's like Cujo, man. It's just me out here. Man, years. Man, it's just me out here. Don't worry, Moor. Just keep doing that work, man. Yeah, man, we're just putting that work in, Cujo. You already know, man. You know, it's just me out here. But, you know, I bumped into somebody the other day. You know, we're building or whatever. Yeah, boy. Saw some Moors online today. Live up the street. I was at the store, bumped into somebody. They ran up on me and asked me if I'm a Moor and told me they're studying RV Bay publication, all that. We're supposed to be connecting and building or what. Seems like the prophet is right there because the temple, which is this Moor, not some building that he goes to every Sunday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. The temple himself is right. So because the temple himself is right, only logical that the prophet is going to be working from behind the veil to assist this Moor who's proved himself because, years, it's just been him doing whatever, just him as a Moor. Following the principles or whatever like that. Justice came, didn't take anything on his head. So now the cycle starts back over again at love. Because, he didn't get swung at when justice came. Justice came by and just saw him, and justice went about his business. Left him more alone. Now, the Moors just bumping into Moors everywhere. How's the Moor just bumping into Moors everywhere? All of a sudden, you just starting to see Moors? Hey, how long you been studying? I've been studying a year or whatever like that. I thought it was just me out here. Hey, I thought it was just me out here. How do these two people think it was just them? Something's going on behind the veil. Don't worry about the walls, the table, chair, computer. Oh, yeah, we got the speaker here. The speaker's playing so loud, my music and jamming right now. Forget all that stuff. It's behind the veil time right now. This is a holy and divine movement founded by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the Prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The Prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their Prophet and the temple. 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 Which reminds you, next week, Saturday, 21st, unless we hear about something being canceled or whatever, we're going ahead with the program, assisting with the City of Toronto Community Cleanup Weekend. Saturday, 21st, we're going to be meeting at the Moorish Science Temple of America, 2533A Eglinton Avenue West at 11:30 a.m. We're going to take our walk to Caledonia with our bags. We suggest people go to the little dollar store. Brother Yasoon said it's about 3 notes. You can get one of those extender arms where you don't have to bend down and be picking up stuff. You just have your extender arm and you have your garbage bag. Right? If you know anybody that needs volunteer hours, anything like that for school, sign off on hours. If you need hours, if you need some court paper, whatever, saying that you did some community work for your whatever, come out, we get you a little paper so you can start paying your dues. Because like you said, Moors have to do their part in protecting their Prophet and the temple. And right now, that's how we're going to protect what it is that we have, by being humanitarians again. By going back to the mindset of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, regardless, even if they came out of the cave and they were a beast, we still gave them some knowledge. Still. We didn't shoot them away, get the hell out of here and all that. We still sat their ass down, shaved them down, taught them to speak. Now there's somebody trying to take over the world and all that stuff. And then our people, who are us, who taught them, they're thinking that they brought something for them and they don't know anything unless they get it from them. That's how warped you get when you don't have a prophet, when you don't have a culture, when you don't know about your nationality and birthrights, and that you've been on these lands for millions of years. Come over here on what slave ship? So, know that when this brother spoke and he laid it down and he told these Moors, I'm telling you this, and you have to tell all the other Moors this. And these Moors didn't do that. They weren't protecting the temple or the Prophet. They were actually against the mission. And they're still around today against the mission. mixing falsehood and truth to have our people confused and not just getting down with the nationality and birthrights yesterday. Because that's really how the concept should be. You, as soon as you find out you're not Negro, black, colored, African, you never came over your ship, you're indigenous, immediately your mindset's supposed to change, and you're supposed to be on some, let me get with some other indigenous people so we can do something since this is our stuff. But nah, we want to debate about what we are and where we came from and whatever. Oh, these people don't know who they are, don't listen to them and all that. So we know that this realm, and Nobudrali knew this too, that this realm is for learning. This realm is for experiencing. This is not the realm where, you know, this is going to be what you do for the rest of your lives in existence. So don't look at your first job for teeny boppers, for example. Don't look at your first job, teeny bopper, giving newspapers as that's going to be your career in your life. Now you're going to be a retired paper deliverer guy. No, that's just for the time being. You learn something. Same thing with this life. Some of you people who are here in this life, this is your newspaper job. This is not it. We're here to let you know. That's why we got the fezzes and all that stuff. We're here to let you know this is way bigger than what you think it is. You could think you know something, but trust me, you ain't know nothing unless you deal with certain Moors. And there's certain Moors, like we said, you go to their classes and you might jump off something because your brain turned to water because you couldn't even comprehend the vastness of what was relayed to you. And you just throw in the towel on everything because there's no way that that Moor could do that. Oh yeah, that's who the Moors are. And Nobudrali knew this because he himself was a return of an ascended master. He himself was a return of an ascended master. Now we spoke about, again, making sure that you don't get played by these people out here. Don't let Johnny-come-latelys convince you that they know something. They're Johnny-come-lately. Time is a track record. So nobody out here younger than Mother Az, Tashri Bey, or Mother Rashida Bey, T. Freeman L. Pass, Delbert Blair Pass, Donna Clark. That's all left. Okay. Nobody who's younger than them should be talking any BS about you know something. How you know something? How you just came yesterday and you're not gonna go to Brother Abdullah, Alim Bey, Jose Pimenta Bey, like the next level from who we mentioned, the next level down, right? Would be the ones who are in the going into 50. They'll be the next level down people. You're not going to them, you're going to bypass them even and go to some guy came two months ago. He just created a YouTube page. And that's the top scholar guy right now. The guy who came 2 months ago. The guy who, they're such novices, There's such novices that they teach looking here. They teach like this. And you think that you got to whatever, and blah, blah, blah. This is where they teach. No. Them teaching here, them teaching here is that they have to be up here. Right? And go watch all of them. That's how you know that they're Johnny come latelys. Because they never even been in front of camera before. Like they don't even know what they're doing. They're looking here, talking to you. And you're taking them serious, they're looking here. Why are they looking here? How come they're looking here? Now, okay, we know the chat's over here, so you might look at the chat. But you're not supposed to be going back to all the teaching stuff, but you're just right here. Because that would mean that, you know, you have some type of, you know, whatever with yourself. You're just looking at yourself when you're supposed to be talking to these people right here. But this is how you know them. And again, they're going to correct, right? They're going to correct. Watch, you're going to see them correct. You're going to see them correct. You're going to see them correct. Watch. You like talk BS about Noble Drew Ali. Let's hear some BS. We even get to the topic of today yet. We're still doing with the to be read every meeting. Since we're in the comfort of indoors today, you know, we could do our own thing today. Everybody have to drop anybody home or nothing like that. Take a break, go get food, whatever. On 1:35, we got time.
So therefore, let me clear these things up. A speculative Mason is the one that you see dressed in the suit with the regalia on with the collars and stuff. The operative Mason is the one who lays stones and cement and builds buildings. Now, Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a speculative Mason, understanding what Masonry is in itself. It is now two parts of Masonry. Like I said, it's you building buildings, and then it's you building yourself. So
now, let's clear something up. Let's clear something up. Quick, fast. If their name's not Abdullah El Talib Mozi Bey, don't listen to anything that they have to say about Moors and Masonry. Period. Let me put that out there. If they're not Abdullah El Talib Mozi Bey, and they're starting to talk to you about Masonry and Moors and there's some type of connection or whatever, know that they're a fraud. And do not listen to anything that they say. Listen to nothing that they say. Don't even give it a listen to see what they're going to say. Don't even care. And that would go for everything else that they say after that. Because there's no way that somebody's going to be talking about something as high as Masonry and not give you reference points. There's no way that somebody's just going to sit in their car, make a video, bring Noble Drew Ali in it, to slander, to make it appear like he's down with this BS. There's only one individual that you should be listening to when it comes to the connection of Moors and Masonry. Only one. The only individual with a book on the subject matter. From front page to back page. strictly dealing with this connection between Moors and Masonry. If you're surfing for information online and you bump into somebody, fez or not, fronts or not, gold chain, beads, whatever, and they're talking about Moors and Masonry, they either be mentioning Abdullah El Talib Mozi Bey, or they better be Abdullah El Talib Mozi Bey. If not, cast those pearls to swine, because it wasn't pearls that you had. They played you. I'm going to go back to Noble Drew Ali. I am glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. This brother out here is speaking some truth. You want that divine truth? You go to Abdullah El Talib Mozi Bey when it comes to Moors and anything to do with Masonry. And remember that that truth that certain people speak could also be found in the divine truth. So you can get the truth and the divine truth as far as Moors and Masonry is concerned from Brother Abdullah El Talib Mozi Bey. Anybody telling you something about Moors and Masonry, their name better be Abdullah El Talib Mozi Bey, or they better be referencing Abdullah El Talib Mozi Bey. We'll put that on the record for these people talking crazy. Because one thing we know is that if you're a Mason, then you got a fez. Now, if you're a Mason and you're in a lodge and you just go and, you know, to your meetings and all that, that's a speculative Mason. And the operative Mason is the one that applies more science. The operative Mason is the one that uses the tools in the workshop of the mind, not the tools to build some building. That's a whole different Masonry. That's not connected to this Masonry and this temple. That's not connected to this. That's his own jurisdiction. Masonry for building buildings. But again, you know, Drew Ali warned you of truth and falsehood being strangely mixed. Of course, when you look at building a building, there's going to be Masonry in there. Of course, because building a building is a science. It's not building a building is not even about the building. It's about the science that it takes to build the structure. It's not about the materials that we built something. We built Babylon's tower, so we're cool. It's what it took to build that, not the materials. It was still operative, which is why they would say that it's operative, because they're looking at it from this mechanical position that operation means you have to be doing something, not the workshop of the mind, which Noble Drew Ali again brought you the lessons that all these people held back from you about what it's really about. And if he really took away all the secrets, then how would he be a Mason? Because Masons are keepers of secrets. Moors reveal secrets. So somebody can't be a Moor and a Mason. They're ass backwards if they think they're a Moor and a Mason. Why do you think CMB said 360-degree free Moorish Master Mason, but didn't have a marking fez? Because he's not under their jurisdiction. He doesn't have to wear no apron. He wore a suit. But he was one of the most operative Masons out here. He didn't build no buildings, but he made sure more stuff was in the Library of Congress, though. Ain't no more operative than that. And CMB wore a suit. He wasn't playing this is about some type of building. His work speaks. And again, he gave you reference points, unlike these people who don't. Have you in your mind now, because you already know about the campaign these people have had against Masonry, making it something evil. As soon as a Moor out their mouth says Noble Drew Ali is a Mason, without qualifying what a Mason is, without qualifying, nothing, you're just sitting in their car talking BS to themselves. You're not even talking to the camera, they're talking to themselves. And they're talking some BS, and they're not giving you any reference points. And then you go out there, get lost in some oblivion, and then you come back here and 10 years have gone by, you missed everything. Because these people like you chasing some BS. Instead of recognizing what Noble Drew Ali brought you, read his stuff. Forget all these other people out here who said that they brought you stuff. Read his stuff. Get some reference points. So, and then you go do some research. Just research, somebody said something on YouTube, you're taking 20 hours, a guy said something, you're looking up something. That's not a reference point. That's exactly why he did that, to get that outcome right there. You already got your PayPal transfer for the damn consultation. Then he's telling you stuff you could have just looked up. Doesn't that seem dumb to you? They're going to teach you about how to do stuff, but they're not showing you stuff of what they did to Brother Mario. Showed you all the writs that he's filed. Moorish Nation Public Record, they put all the writs on there that people have sent out to whoever and got whatever response. Responses there, everything. Why? Because time is a track record. So you can see who's been doing what since when and who's Johnny come lately. Why are you listening to them? They ain't pay no dues yet. What dues they pay? They start a YouTube page, they got 10,000. That means that they pay dues? Just because views, that's it? A baby go up there, and then that gets 20 million. Now we're gonna start that's the standard now. What babies do? The hell out of here. You're listening to these nobodies making a mockery of what it is that people died for. This nationality and birthrights. This is not some club. This is not some come to this seminar. We're gonna teach you how to be a Moor. We have the perfect seminars of how to be a Moor. You better be studying this info. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people on our side of the nation that claim I was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I am calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without I, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works, which I have performed in the past few years. Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Prophet Noble Drew Ali, once again, was a Mason because he had the ability to build, contract, create within himself, and he also was an Egyptian adept student. Now, Dr. Ben, part of the African Lodge, Grand Lodge of Luxor. This brother, I have Awals, Babalaos, who belong to that lodge. So you can't tell me it's not an African lodge. Also, Prince Hall, when it first was established, was also called the African Lodge and was later changed to the Prince Hall Lodge because of these little willy Negroes who can't partake in the aspect that you come from over there. Even Moors, yes, my ancestors came from over there. I'm not from Africa. I'm from here. My ancestors are from Africa. I have ancestors from America as well. Now, y'all got to learn to get past these little things because you stand on a square every time you in a temple. Where did that come from? Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he's throwing up Masonic symbols. He got his hand over his chest, his heart, his solar plex.
Now, I know for a fact that every Muslim that I meet when I'm wearing a fez or a turban, they put their hand over their heart, over their solar plex, over their chest, and greet me, assalamu alaikum. That ain't Masonic. That comes before some Masons. That comes before some lodge, before some Prince Hall, before some African lodge. That's like saying handshakes come from Masons. Handshakes don't come from Masons. People have been shaking hands. What the hell are you guys talking about? But again, when you have unqualified people trying to sound smart, we'll just go to the qualified people. When you go to qualified people, then you realize exactly what you're supposed to realize instead of going to the people who don't know jack. So Moors and Masonry, Brother Abdullah L. Talib Mozi Bey, that we're telling you, if you're going to listen to someone about Moors and Masonry, make sure that they at least have some type of literature on the subject matter. You're not going to call the plumber who doesn't have tools has to borrow your tools. Why the plumber need your tools? If he's the plumber. And then you're paying him? He's not even come with tools, you're paying him still? And you want to know how come the sink's not fixed yet? So we'll go to our teacher because we like to give reference points. We're not just some Moors, we're just out here putting out this information just because we don't have something to do. No, we're putting this information out because we know this changed lives. We know that. We get enough calls from Moors who need their life changed. We get enough calls from people who were quote unquote Masons that said, forget that BS. They know Moors saying that they're Masons still. There's nobody who comes into knowledge of nationality and birthrights and is going to say, I'm a Mason, as if that's cool, that you're a Moor and you're in the lodge. Like, that's not cool. You're a dumbass. Why are you going to be part of the lodge if you're a Moor? Why don't you use your lodge connections to help build up the Moorish stuff? Well, no, they don't want to do that. They want to go in your pockets and let the lodge charter corporate entities continue to do their BS that they're doing. Remember, these are supposed to be Moors who are Masons. Look what Noble Drew Ali. If Noble Drew Ali was a Mason, then he let all the secrets out. If Noble Drew Ali was a Mason, he went to Havana, Cuba, and got the mandate and all that stuff and gave it to the Moorish Americans. He didn't give it to the lodge. He brought nationality and birthright, told these people they're not Negro, black, colored people, while lodge people before him didn't even tell these people that. And Noble Drew Ali's a Mason? Okay, if he's a Mason, then he must be himself Hiram Habib. Forget the myth. If Noble Drew Ali is a Mason, he's Hiram Habib, actually. So all you so-called Masons need to be getting around him anyways, black Mason guys. If you rep some Masonry, if we're going to say Noble Drew Ali is a Mason out of our mouth as Moors, then what you're saying is Noble Drew Ali is Hiram Habib come again, the builder of King Solomon's temple, which the temple we know is the body because, you know, there ain't no building. And they can't even find King Solomon's temple. So we already know there's not no building. These people play you out your stuff. Don't let these new, just came here yesterday people who have paid no dues as far as intellectually assisting our people try to teach you something. Don't you dare. So we'll go to the preface of Moors and Masonry. Remember, this is just the preface. This ain't nothing. We'll put it out there just because. I envision empowering the Masons and Eastern Stars, who currently are classified as Black, Negro, Colored, and African American in the United States Census Bureau, and as Black in the United States Race and Ethics Standards for Federal Statistics and Administrative Reporting, Directive Statistical Policy Number 15. This denationalized classification keeps the defeated, conquered, and subjugated Moors in the state of civil death, dead in the eyes of the law. I am confident that Moors and Masonry will inspire my people to claim Masonry as their birthright and sovereign authority, therefore no longer being mentally and politically subjugated to the European occupiers and colonists' false history and law. So as soon as a Moor tells you that Noble Drew Ali is a Mason, and he's a Mason, or she's an Eastern Star, and we know what's up because we're part of the lodge and you're not part of the lodge, so you can't tell me that you don't know anything. Why are they still repping that they're Mason? Why are they just keep telling people that they're Moors? Why are they trying to always sell them a package? Why are they always trying to sell them some seminar of how to learn something? Why don't you just give the people the stuff? Because if you're a real master Mason, if you're a real Mason, you know that the keeper's time is up and it's about the revealer's time right now. You know the keeping stuff is over. You know the go to the lodge and go do whatever lodge BS. You know that time's over. All these so-called Prince Halls and whoever like that, Black Masons or whatever, are supposed to know about their nationality and birthrights right now. And they're supposed to be using the lodge, just like how Noble Drew Ali used the Moor Science Temple. Because this is your birthright. This is not Masonry. This is what he's alluding to in the preface. That I want to teach my people that this is not Masonry. This is your birthright. This is not Masonry. This is not go to the lodge and then you get a fez and then you got stuff on it and you got to put your name in the book and whatever like that. Nah, what this is. That's not what this is. Furthermore, not that that wasn't enough. Like that could have been enough. I am confident Moors and Masonry will inspire my people to claim Masonry as their birthright and sovereign authority, therefore no longer being mentally, politically subjugated by the European occupiers and colonists. Like, that's vast. Merely by looking at Masonry as a birthright and claiming it as such, not just pretending like you're down with the birthright, but then you're using the Masonic links from a Masonic perspective because you're part of the lodge. But you're not using those links to build up the nation. You're just using those links because you can get your little perks as a Mason. Because you know that you can't get those perks as quote unquote a Moor. Because you're going to have to sever the ties with these people who've been rubbing your feet, stroking your whatever, for you to be part of that stuff. Because being part of that comes with a price. Being part of your birthright, you know, again, all it is time. You want them to read this book. Yeah, super recharge. Furthermore, I project Moors and Masonry will illuminate and uplift those Masons and Eastern Stars who are the true nobles and illustrious by birth and consanguinity, to proclaim and declare their Moorish nationality and become politically active in their Moorish national birthright sovereign affairs. So all these so-called people who are Masons and Eastern Stars and all that stuff, they should be repping for Noble Drew Ali if he's a Mason. If they're going to come out and say they're Masons and they know stuff about Masonry and you don't know anything, why are they trying to promote you to come to their seminar to teach them some BS except about Noble Drew Ali? How come they're not bringing you to the seminar for that? Because that's what they really should be teaching about what Noble Drew Ali brought you. And the lessons, how Noble Drew Ali's lessons are tied into Masonry, which is why there's even a lodge. Because that was for the European salvation. That was for the European salvation. Because everybody needed saving. People got it in whatever form that they could get it in. Or in whatever form it was given to them. Don't let these people play this game with you. That they know something when they don't know. They need to humble themselves. Instead of talking about people need to humble themselves, they need to humble themselves. And either get on the side of being a Moor and start putting this word out for our people and stop all this seminar and lecture BS. Because there's mad lectures that I did that I paid for. There's lectures where I paid my own ticket to go wherever. Because people are like, yo, want the info, like, you know what I mean? Well, what you got? I got this. All right, well, I got that. Let's go. Why? Why is that? Because this is not about some lecture and all that stuff. This is about getting somewhere, inspiring some Moors. These people know what's up. They know about their nationality birthrights. Jeez. We're going to go rep for them. Because trust me, we've been told people how warped it is here. They don't really see it. But maybe if a European tell you, you realize why it is that we talk how we talk. This is what we have to deal with out here with regard to our people, right? The day before, April 10th, Byron Armstrong. This is Now magazine or newspaper, right? Big time publication out here. Not no small paper, right? Like an entertainment paper. right? But they got news too. And this is their news. Doug Ford, the black community's white savior. Few politicians have fed their white savior complex quite so cluelessly as Doug Ford. And Doug Ford, everybody knows, you know, the smoke crack mayor of Toronto. He made his name. Well, his brother now running for the position that his brother was in, as far as out here, right? And again, this is preconceived mindset. This is not something that, you know, like we're saying, the quote unquote black people in Toronto don't want to recognize Noble Drew Ali as their savior. Like, we've been here, and trust me, they don't want to recognize Drew Ali as their savior, right? So they get given their saviors. So one of their saviors was Doug Ford's brother, Rob Ford, right? And he was a savior to the point where, like, because we worked in the community or whatever like that, we would go to his team's football games and all that, right? We had a football team. And if you looked at the work he did, quote unquote, for the black community, it wasn't just based on get votes. You know what I mean? Like, outside people would look at it like that. But I've been to youth houses that he's facing gun charges and Rob Ford's there, like trying to assist more than black leaders out here. Right? This is when we worked in the west end of the city, where that's where the gun stuff is that's where it goes down, if it's going down, more than anywhere else. Right? At when he died, remembering young people who were talking like he was like a dad, and you know what I mean? So we know that Rob had a heart. We know that, right? European and all that. Ate pork chops and all that stuff. It didn't matter, you know. He was trying to do something, you know, like Noble Drew Ali said, if the European helped me, why not you? Like, why not you, black leader guy? You know what I mean? And I know personally, when we worked in these communities, that they're gonna have their grieving, whatever, for the community center or the, you know, whatever safe space that the youth are familiar with. It might be outside or whatever, right? Anytime there's a shooting, they're gonna have a grieving, whatever, just for the young people and the people who young people say they want there, right? And I was privy to some of those because, you know, we're out here. Not Johnny come latelys. Even when we were black, we were doing community work, right? And this man will be there. Before mayoring and politics and all that stuff, he'd be one of the people, one of the community people that are there, right? Now, remember, time, the track record, right? The cycle. If you know where one thing is, then you know what the other thing is, and then you know what it is, and then it's just going to be keep going again. It's going to keep going over and over and over again, because that's what time does. Repeating itself. At this time tomorrow, it's going to be 2:08 p.m. It's just what it is. And that's just, nothing personal, nothing to debate. That's just what it is. We might not be doing what we're doing right now, but it's still going to be that. So we have the pre-relationship with the quote-unquote black community, right? Because they rep that hard here, right? They rep black community hard here, right? For those particular quote-unquote people. Now listen to the language, and we're gonna ask, what Moors realize, especially for Moors who aren't here, because this is April 10th, and this is directly involving the quote-unquote black community, who, as Moors, we know they don't want anything to do with Moors. We've been out here giving out newspapers and stuff like that, and everybody, every other culture, they're seeing Moors and they're like, oh, see what these guys are saying or whatever. And everybody who's Negro black colored, they're giving you face, and they're, pretending that they don't see you. Just all of a sudden they have tunnel vision and looking at whatever it is they're looking at over there. Right? Ask Moors in the chat. Moors know what's up. Moors been there. They know. Just like the Moor said, where he was, there's only one of us here. It's the same thing with here. That, yeah, it's only us, Canaanland Moors. Ain't nobody else repping Moors about us. And people who want to rep Moors, they really can't rep Moors, because here they'll deport them if they start showing they have some type of allegiance to some Islamic whatever. Right? But that's how they play. So Doug Ford loves the black community, and they love him. To use his words, there is no politician in this country, including black politicians, presumably, who has supported the black community more than he has. He crashed a Somali community meeting on gun violence on April 7th, where he proceeded to tell the assembly that what they need to do to deal with the bloodshed in their neighborhoods is bring back Tavis, and then look up Toronto anti-violence stuff and see why they took Tavis out. And this guy's coming right now to tell, quote unquote, the Somali community, not the black community, because if they were black, they would have said black, but they're not black. This is the Somali community he's talking to. Because the whole idea is criminalize the quote-unquote blacks. That now it's so multicultural here that the Somali community doesn't have people who look Somali anymore. Somali community has people who look like niggers now. So now they fall under the jurisdiction. But remember, because it's a different nation of people, they can introduce Tavis to them, because the Somali community, they're not familiar with Tavis. From when they came over here the first time, and they were strong Muslim, hijab and all that stuff, men wearing their jalabia, and it ain't no wearing no pants and suits and all that stuff like that. Wintertime, they got their freaking Muslim stuff on. You're looking at them like, you guys are obviously new here. You guys have to be new here, because there's no way you're supposed to be wearing that in the winter. You must be new here, right? Now, they fell for the trap of the niggerdom, the nigger industry. Islam to Brother Tallahassee Al-Bay, he can tell you about all the stuff because he's on the hedges and the highways with this. He tell you stuff he experienced, dealing with other nationals, recognizing that we know that we're not niggers, and how grateful they are to meet a quote-unquote black guy who knows that that's a fez, not a hat. Knows that this black guy, he has a fez on, and he knows that he's in Morocco, over here. It's not Canada, United States, and all that. This is Morocco over here, Maghreb. Morocco, the farthest west. It's what they know. Right? Remember, they're playing the game for the black people. The newly created black people who used to be Somalian or Nigerian or Ghanaian or whatever out here. They got them in it now. Because remember, Tavis was taken out. They stopped Tavis when it was dealing with the quote-unquote black community. Black community complained so much about Tavis doing BS, they say, okay, no more Tavis. Now they're introducing Tavis again to the Somali community because the Somalis are now classified as blacks. So what happens to the blacks now? Well, the blacks become cannon fodder. The blacks become what they called in King Alfred plan, the bottleneck. And they don't even get it. They don't even get why they just built a new prison. And the prison that they built to replace the prison that everybody else is coming from is predominantly Asiatics in there. 70% of the prison or something like that. Just because they have to get rid of the competition. Because then that's the next people who's going to be on welfare. All the foreigners who come here, right? That don't know the language and all that stuff, they'll sign up for anything. They got new straw men. They can get rid of those straw men because they're useless anyways. And they already sucked them for everything that they could get from them. So they're useless now. Bring in the next ones now to be the new niggers. And then deal with them on that level. It's very obvious to Moors. It's very obvious. Unfortunately, our people take the position of they don't want anything to do with Moors. You know, they got something figured out. They claim they got something figured out. Let's see what else they got figured out.
Masonic symbols. I'm a Mason. I don't care. I'm not violating myself by telling you none of this because it's all on the internet already. And if you can't read the symbols and signs, you're not as smart as you think you are. Because a Egyptian adept is what? A Mason. Because where did Masonry originally stem from? It came from Kemet. They were building pyramids and other buildings, temples. They still have some of the largest, most beautiful structures of all time over there.
Stop lying. All those dusty ass pyramids, and beautiful structures, nothing.
So these were operative Masons, and there also was a speculative sense that was put into it because there was allegory. It was about you becoming a great man, you chipping away the rough edges. So you.
That's the operative. That's not the speculative. The speculative isn't you being a good man. The speculative is you going to do the building like a dumbass. You running around stuff. You wearing a wooden cross on you and all that stuff. That's the speculative. The operative is the allegory. The operative is the metaphor. The operative is the lesson behind why you do the rituals. These people play you with their exoteric mindsets, that they're only caught up in what's going on in the physical and that's it. Get money and have a nice car and have the best clothes and be able to, that's all illusionary. This is about higher thinking. It's not about what you got physically. Nothing to do with what you have physically. As soon as they start going there, know that they're speculative. They're exoteric. Operative is esoteric. Look at it like that. Anytime you see them talking about two pillars, you're talking about an exoteric and an esoteric. You're talking about a lower self and a higher self. Period. How's being a better man the operative? And then that comes from ancient Egypt because they built pyramids. Forget pyramids. It ain't about pyramids. It's about the science of that pyramid. How did they create that? How did they move those 50-ton bricks and put them? It's not masonry how they did that. It's the science of the masonry, why they did that. They might have been lifting those bricks with their mind. Forget about somebody rolling those up something. Don't go with people who don't give any reference points. People who claim to be certain things, like Masons, but they never showed you their fez or nothing like that. But they're Masons. But they never showed you the fez. They never did one class, one lesson, one whatever, saying that they're a Mason. All of a sudden, they're talking about Noble Drew Ali's a Mason, now they're a Mason. How come they weren't telling that secret when the secret was going on? How come all of a sudden now, because you could talk about stuff because everything's on the internet, now you're talking about you're a Mason? How come you people were Masons 10 years ago? Masons been around. Where were y'all? What were y'all doing? What was the opposition 10 years ago? Were y'all Masons then? And if you were Mason, what were you doing? Right? All you're doing is gratifying over the BS and F you to the thumbs downer. You're cool because you thumbs down. You're a jackass. Thumbs downing something, giving you knowledge. We're telling you about Moors and Masonry. Abdullah El Talib Mosey Bey, you're thumbs downing? F you. You thumbs down in this. When those Masons and Eastern Stars declare their Moorish nationality, they will become free and accepted, receiving constitutional and treaty protections. I essentially intend to give the lion paw grip to those Masons and Eastern Stars and raise them from a dead level to a living perpendicular. And that's bold, highlighted, because that's Mason talk. That's Masonic language. That when someone is a Mason that reads this reference point that Brother Abdullah Talib Mosey Bey is speaking from in his book, not from his car, speaking from his book, not from speaking on the street corner in front of a banner. always referencing his book. Not just saying stuff out his mouth and then not backing it up with something. Like all these new people who they're so new, they look here when they're teaching you. And they're looking here and they're talking to you about things, but they're looking here thinking they're talking to you. And you're thinking they're talking to you when they're not even looking at you. When the whole point, you know it's on when you're in the back of the class, you did some BS and you and the teacher make eye contact in front of all these students in front of you. As soon as you get the eye contact, you already know what's up. So why would it be any different? How come it's not different? Should be the same, shouldn't it? Still learning, even though it's on some internet, whatever. They should still have something to, you know, that's why they got a board, because they write down reference points. That's why we have literature. All these Moors claim that they know all this stuff, and then when the camera in front of them, they're not telling you, they're not showing you the library. They're not letting you know what they got, so you can match your stuff up, and then everybody can have something. They're not down with that. They're just down with rape you. Okay, you'll get it eventually. You'll get it eventually. I essentially intend to give the lion paw grip to those Masons and Eastern stars and raise them from a dead level to a living perpendicular. And when they look down, they will be starting at a perfect point of a square. Raise up harem. Wasn't he talking about people standing under a square? That means that they're a Mason and all that stuff? Oh, but it doesn't only mean Mason though, does it? Oh, it also means that you're raised from a dead level when you're standing on the square. That has nothing to do with building buildings. What's that have to do with building buildings? Square, what do you mean square? Okay, 90-degree angle. What's 90-degree angle? Heels touching is a 90-degree angle. Okay, what's the big deal? Why are you blowing stuff up like it's something special? Somebody stand on the square means that they're living perpendicular. They're not living in a dead state. That's why they stand on their square. And if they're living perpendicular, that would mean that they have knowledge of self, which is why they're standing on the square as well. And that nobody has to be a Mason to stand on the square. Like Masons invented standing on the square or something. You know, Masons invented that. Just like no Mason invented this. You know, Mason invented Assalamu alaikum. When you see another Mason, you say Assalamu alaikum. But these people always want to try to make it seem like these Europeans got something on somebody. They ain't got nothing on nobody. We taught them. Why just go back to the nationality and birthrights? Why is it always this comparison thing to make it seem like European got one up on us because they got a lodge and they're in this secret order of the whatever? That's your order that your dumbass doesn't want to belong to because you want to be Negro. You want to be teacher that wears fronts and fangs, and you got fangs trying to teach people something. What are you teaching somebody? You got fangs. You got fangs? 2018? 2018, you got fronts and fangs. And that was grave diggers. Like that was Tikal and all that. Talking about fangs right now? Noble Juali? They're not talking like permanence because your tooth got knocked out or whatever like that. So you got the permanent, you got the, you know, the LJ tooth or whatever. Not that good. You got the slip-on, slip-out stuff. You're not serious about this. Yeah, you're serious. Anybody taking that serious? That's rapper stuff. Bringing up Noble Juali's name, talking crazy. Proclaim and declare your Moorish nationality. Forget that Masonry BS. You're not no Mason. You're actually Moorish American. More American. Aboriginal, indigenous, by consanguinity and birthright. Not no Mason, not no free Moorish master Mason, nothing. That ain't what you are. You're Moor. You're playing like you got degrees so people can give you views and stuff like that. You ain't want no degrees right now. I think I heard the door knocking, boys. You just listen to this.
Why you don't pull up on the passenger side of the police car and bust on the police instead of your brother? I've never heard of it. You say you're a gangster. 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 Black power my ass, y'all just playing the ass posing, frontin', no bustin', no dirty cop gun button. At least more's right, rich, trying to do something. Pen as my weapon, feathers up and turbans, no bluffing. Don't get it twisted, so I'm more get handcuffing. Judges dismiss cases, prosecutors cussing.
Yeah, Morris. You already know. Hope you went and got your food quick fast. I never heard of it. Reclaim your Moorish fez. Oh, proclaim and declare your nationality, your Moorish nationality. Reclaim your birthright, inherited land. Reclaim your Moorish fez, regalia, compass and square, gavel, tau, cross, crescent, star, and scimitar, tracing board, checkerboard floor, altar, ladder, rituals, titles, etc. You are the true and rightful imperial potentates, sovereign grand commanders, royal monarchs, and illustrious. You are the nobles and freeholders of this land. Let us help in the great humanitarian works. Just a reminder, next week, Saturday, all the Canaanland Moors and any other Moors anywhere else in Northwest Amexem, the world, whatever. We're going to be doing our community cleanup next week, Saturday, 12 to 2. So if you want to gather up some Moors wherever you're at, it doesn't have to be a community cleanup. It could be a feed the hungry. It could be a give out some 20 notes to children. Whatever. Do something. If you want to. You don't have to. You know, I mean, we're just putting it out there because, you know, we know Moors like to do stuff. So if you want something to do to uplift fallen humanity, next week we're going to be doing our part. 12 to 2, meeting up at the temple at 11:30. We got the bags. Make sure you bring, we got some gloves, but it's the rubber gloves or whatever. Right, the latex gloves. If you got gloves, bring those. You know, like we said, you can go to the dollar store, get a little arm, extend the arm so you don't have to bend down, kill your back picking up stuff. You know, who knows? It might be still snow outside. They might still be harping, trying to stop us from getting our humanitarian work done. Who knows? But be prepared for next week. You know what I mean? Let's see what's good. All right. And doing our part in the great humanitarian works. And again, Moors, if you're free and you want to do something, make some sandwiches, go give them out, whatever. You know what I mean? You know, go clean out the closet, get all those old clothes, put them in a bag, go drop them off at Salvation Army or whatever. You know, could be anything, Moors. Doesn't have to be extravagant. Just, you know, try do something. All right? Again, if you want to. There's no obligation to do it on the 21st like we are. Noble Juali started his humanitarian work in 1913 to restore the Moorish nationality, Moorish birthright, inherited land, Moorish territorial sovereignty, Moorish federal government and imperial divan to the defeated, conquered, subjugated, and denationalized Moors who are now classified in the United States Census Bureau as Black, Negro, Colored, and African American, and as Black in the United States Race and Ethics Standard for Federal Statistics and Administrative Reporting, Directive Number 15. My people, Moors, who are now classified in the United States Census Bureau as Black, Negro, Colored, and African American, and as Black in the United States Race and Ethics Standards for Federal Statistics and Administrative Reporting, have been indoctrinated in the public schools in North America to believe that the European colonists who falsely claim to be Americans, free white persons, white people, and white are the true founders of the government of the de jure United States Republic. The history, social studies, and civic textbooks, as well as posters, banners, documentaries used in public schools display the European colonists establishing colonies and government, depicting them in a sovereign position, while other images portray us, the Moors, in shackles and working in cotton fields, portraying us, the Moors, in a subordinate and subservient political position during the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, and 1800s. As a result of these psychological control tactics, we, the Moors, have mental imprints of the Europeans' dominance, rulership, and governance in North America. This socially engineered psychological inferiority complex could be the source of our current lack of involvement in exercising our own Moorish national sovereignty, as well as the lack of knowledge of the true history of our being in the position of self-government, self-rule, self-authority, and sovereign power with our birthright and sovereign tie to our federal government and imperial divan. Today, the European Shriners use our Moorish, Moroccan imperial divan, their organizational structure. The European Shriners also use the Moorish, Moroccan birthright hereditary title noble for the officers of their order. So forget go online, the secret's out. Go get Abdullah El Talib Mozi Bey's book, Moors and Masonry, if you really want to know something. Stop listening to YouTube people. Right? And trust me, we're not no YouTube people because we go all over the place. So don't even put up, because you can see we got all these videos, you think we're YouTube people. We're not YouTube people. We got temple, we been out here doing work. We do lectures, bring people here and all that. So don't think that this is just limited to some, we care about some views. We don't care about no damn views. If people view, great. If they don't view, it's their birthright. It ain't hurting me if they're not viewing. Like we said, we tell these youths all the time in school. Hey, I graduated already. So don't even get it twisted like you're bothering me if you don't go to class or whatever. You're not bothering me. Right? What I can do is inspire you to do something. But you're on your own once you get it. Once you get it, and you're on your own. If you don't get it, you're on your own. This is really yours. Right? Now, just checking the question stuff, see what's in there. No. Mansa Cheyenne. Brother King Bay sent this one. Let's see here. When you're not on the book, they go nuts. It's crazy how they forget that Juali said we have spies everywhere. And they can't really talk BS, really. They can try, but you know. So this is from Mansa Shyam. Mansa Shyam. Mansa Shyama. Is that a new name? Mansa Shyam. Cujo is just angry because he had a child that was taken from some of his members or his child directly, and the child was taken for being malnutrition. Now we know the European lies, so I'm not saying that we are truthful in their accusations. However, the brother is angry and envious because when he reached out to us when we were operating the Aboriginal law firm, we informed him that he had to pay us for our time and labor. The bottom line, whatever the price we charge for our service is due to our intellectual property, time, and labor. Bottom line, if you have nothing to offer to sell the community, then you are just a leech. Now, remember that when that situation went down, we had Daweed Ali El riding with us. We had Daweed Ali El riding with us. We had Taj Tariq Bey riding with us. We had Ali Mel Bey riding with us. We had Rosmariah Bey. We had Grand Sheikh Nature El Bey. But we didn't call them. We didn't call them to get any advice of how should we deal with this situation or whatever like that. Because we were already qualified. This is 2010, 2011. We already been on this 3-4 years. So people have to stop telling lies, because when they were Aboriginal law firm, remember, that was how, whoever it was, you guys got my number, because you guys called me. How are you calling me and you're trying to tell me that, oh yeah, one more time.
Why you don't pull up on the passenger side of the police car and bust on the police instead of your brother? I've never heard of it. You say you're a gangster? 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 Black pop on my ass, y'all just playing the ass posing, frontin', no bustin', no dirty cop gun button. At least more's right, rich, trying to do something. Pen as my weapon, fences up and turbans, no bluffing. Don't get it twisted, so I'm more get handcuffing. Judges dismiss cases, prosecutors cussing. Tell them I got to accuse themselves or get sued. Civil right leaders, their conscious blacks marching on news, stopping traffic, or people that didn't kill their sons and daughters. In Canaanland, we call y'all writing out of order. Nationality has me awake like a sleep disorder. While most wear blinders, my peripherals broader.
Right? So these guys think they're hype. Everybody's trying to get a name right now because they already flopped their own show. Their book's not selling and all that stuff. People aren't linking them like they used to link them. Now they changed up their name and all that stuff. Had 50 different names since Aboriginal law firm, and you're still looking at them as credible people. You still looking at them as credible people? They had their own situations where certain people in their stuff got locked up. They didn't use their paperwork or whatever to get them out of nothing. Those people had to go do their time. So don't let them try again. You know, it might seem like we don't know anything because we're in Canada. But remember who our master teachers were. We didn't have to go through dirty moors like all these people went through dirty moors to get to their birthright. Like we got with the top people from the start of this. We just did the start with Aleem. Why do you think Aleem's doing stuff from our channel? Find me somebody else he did that with. Find me somebody else where he logged in on their stuff and did a class. What do you think this is? It's not some bandwagon, whatever. You're not riding no Taj and riding RV Bay or whatever. I'm faculty of Moorish Heritage and History School. Like, I'm faculty. The hell are you guys talking about? How come you guys aren't part of RV Bay publications and all that stuff? Y'all were down way before me. Marrakesh Society. How come y'all not repping with RV Bay? Like, how come? How come you doing your own stuff? Like, why are you doing your own stuff? Because you were around. Matter of fact, how come you're not repping with Drop Squad Kitchen? Abundance Child was Aboriginal law firm. How come she left you guys? How come she ran away from you guys? How come? You guys still support Drop Squad Kitchen? Do you even go there, eat anything, support any way at all? Do you? No? Interesting. But people like to play a little, you know, brother, sister BS and all that stuff. But, you know, they used to run hard, and then now they don't run hard anymore. And you're not questioning these clowns talking crazy. They're bringing up some 2010 stuff. Some 2010 stuff to the point where the fact that they know that we had members and her child got taken, the part they're not telling you is that she sold out the Moorish movement. Like, she sold out the Moorish movement. She sold out the Moorish movement to the point where she, right now, and it's only because my address is on it, why I won't show you the envelope of the individual who I helped. I'm getting letters from their lawyer. I'm getting letters from their lawyer addressed to my house, but it's for them. And it has to do with they owe the lawyer money. But they're sending that to my house. Why are they sending that to my house? Oh, because she used to live in our building, right? Even after she sold out. After she sold out, she went and got with another guy, became baby mother with that guy. Then the guy who was second baby, he's Negro black and all that stuff. And then she got the Moor who she was with, who was willing to take care of his children and all that stuff, who was willing to go work 5 jobs. She got him deported by ratting on him. You're telling me some BS about somebody got their children talking Kudro L's angry? You're not angry about that. Angry about people like you, who are the kings of rape people. Before Polite and all them people, Aboriginal law firm was raping people. How come you're not going to tell them about the 3,000 that you wanted me to pay you, right? Like, since you're going to bring up, you know, your fees and stuff like that, you pay you for your time and all that stuff. How come you're not telling people about the birth certificates you wanted me to also send to you? Remember, you were asking me to send the birth certificates, and when I send the birth certificates, I could send you 1,500, which would be half of the amount. And then I was asking you, remember, let me know if you remember me asking you this question. Well, what do you want the 1,500 in? Because we don't deal with US up here. We deal with Canadian. So I'm going to have to convert it which is going to make it more than 1,500. Remember what you said? You said you wanted 1,500 US because that's what you deal with over there. You don't deal with Canadian money. Well, all right. Right? And what do you want the birth certificates for? Because you're going to go do UCCBS, which we know you're a student of Taj Tariq Bey when you were Aboriginal law firm. We seen the lectures when you guys went, and Abundant Shah lectured, and Brother Diallo Sekou in Florida lectured, and they were the summit of the Moors and all that type of stuff. People who weren't around, they don't know those stuff. People who didn't have Facebook at that time because there was no Facebook, they don't know about you guys going on tour with Taj Tariq Bey. And now you guys are pretending like you're some people who weren't dirty, that got exposed as dirty, and now you come back with a new name and people are supposed to think that you guys are new people. Oh yeah, I've been around. Don't forget. You've been around. We're not new to this. So you might be able to gain these new people with new name, Mansa, Shyam, or whatever like that. But remember when you were Shyam and Elamir and the whole crew as Aboriginal law firm, when you guys used to charge $1,500 to do UCC papers that cost only $15. Remember those days. Remember those days. Don't forget those days. Because not everybody that's on this online BS just came online yesterday. Some people have been around before online. And the people who are around before online, trust me, we know who the frauds are because all these frauds already got exposed. Online gave them a new life because now they can call themselves different names and they can wear different things and you don't know who they are. But if you got VHS tapes still from when these people were doing lectures with Taj Tariq Bey and doing mock court and all this type of stuff, then you know that they've been around and they know what's up. And then again, you ask the question, if Canaanland Moors are new and they don't know anything, how they get a page on rvbaypublications.com, which is the #1 Moorish information website right now? How'd they get a page on that? Nah, they probably just paid their way. They're paying every month to get a page on there. Because Raz and they like to get money because they sell cards and stuff. So I'm sure they're raping Cujo $500 a month so he can have a little page on there. Yeah, the stupid asses. Where were y'all? Where are you now? How come you're not down with this? The foundation that made you who you are. The whole concept of you having Aboriginal law firm came from Taj Tariq Bey and the Moors Order of the Round Table. You guys don't front. Like you didn't get put onto the info by the master teachers who we still have today. We haven't changed our master teachers yet. Same master teachers we had, the same ones. Once they're still in the flesh, they still are. They're not ascended masters. They're still master teachers. They're still here. And we still back them 100. And these people who want views and sell books, talking BS about Moorish, whatever, lying to people, or putting out information that's not yours, don't give you sources, make you think that they're the ones that came up with all this information. So they can tell you 100 for a book that you could just go do your research yourself. It'll probably cost you, 2 hours in an up-to-date library and you can write your own book. The hell you need these guys' book for? They're dirty Moors. That came back in a new thing. Now selling books is their dirty Moor stuff instead of selling packages. And now you're buying their books like, oh yeah, they got some information in here. No, you just got played again. By the same people who just played you yesterday. They had a different name. Played you again. Yeah, you got a book and like I got books that I haven't picked up in 2 years. So what do you bought a book from a guy? What the hell does that do for you? Especially if you never picked up that book in 2 years. Does that book really serve a purpose like that? Or is it just a reference point? If it's just a reference point, then $100 for a reference point. 100 notes for a reference point. So we listening to these Aboriginal law firm people. Ask them how come they didn't use their process to get their boy out of jail when he got locked up, when he got charges for whatever. How come? How come they didn't use their stuff to get him out? Why? How come? Like, it's just an honest question. Honest question. They won't go. They won't go there. Because if they go there, then we'd be able to see the fraud that they were doing behind the Moorish whatever. Now you think that they were upright Moors until you see the charges that they had. You ask yourself, what kind of Moors are these? How these Moors have these kind of charges? They're supposed to be Moors that are teaching people and all that stuff. They're teaching people and their charges are those type of charges? Don't get played. Don't get played. Right? Even vampires coming in the chat getting their fangs pulled out. You guys aren't ready for this. Don't even try. Don't even try. Just go somewhere. FOH. Come all the way over here to thumbs down and then stay here. Like, why stay here? Go somewhere. Go suck something. Should Moors naturalize? Oh gosh, here we go again with this damn BS. Where's the? I was told nationalize has to do with property, so Moors should naturalize to be citizens. Remember what Brother Abdullah El Talib Moses Bey said? Proclaim and declare your Moorish nationality. Ain't nothing called nationalizing there. When somebody says, well, those Moors over there teach nationalize, and you don't want to nationalize because nationalize has to do with property. Nobujwali said birthrights, right? Okay. Let me just get this law dictionary. Okay, naturalization, right? So I told you naturalize has to do with property. So what you should do is naturalize. Right? Naturalization, the act of adopting a foreigner and clothing him with the privileges of native citizen. Naturalize, to confer citizenship upon an alien, to make a foreigner the same in respect to rights and privileges as if he were a native citizen or subject. Naturalized citizen, one who being an alien by birth has received citizenship under the laws of the state or nation. So you want to go naturalize after reading that? You go right ahead. If common sense tells you that you're alien and you're a foreigner, but if you're not a foreigner, then you have to be clothed with privileges when you're supposed to have rights. If you're a de jure citizen, you're not getting privileges. Why would you have privileges? Why would you even accept privileges when you can have birthrights All you have to do is declare and proclaim it. Oh, but just like the Aboriginal law firm people who trying to sell you some type of idea that doesn't work. Same thing with this temple number 13, Bratton Bay, and all these naturalized Moors who are losing membership because everybody's going to the House of Ram to go learn. And people are starting to realize that these guys who claim that they're Moorish Science Temple or whatever, a lot of them are full of BS. And none of them could be taken seriously because they're really about making our people foreigners with privileges instead of birthrights. They want you to be subjects under them. They don't want you to have the big table, the oak table, right? With the framed picture of Noble Drew Ali that nobody else has and all that stuff. They don't want you to have that. That's for them. You don't get the special stuff. You don't get the panoramic picture with Garvey in it, Elijah in it, Father Sweet Daddy Grace in it, Givensell in it, Fard in it. You don't get that stuff. You don't get them pictures. Only the people who are robbing you of your birthright get those stuff. Only them. The act of adopting a foreigner. So temple number 13 is basically telling all these Moors that they're foreigners. And in order for them to have privileges, they have to be adopted by them. Because Noble Drew Ali said that, you know, the 14th and 15th Amendment is not necessary, but the 13th Amendment, oh, that's necessary because, you know, Lincoln was Noble Drew Ali before Noble Drew Ali, because Lincoln was a Melungian, and he has the case that he saved them more. And then the oath of amnesty, and then the Civil War, and then we didn't want to fight, but we had to go fight if we wanted to be free. And then all of these people start playing their BS with you. You're descendants of Moroccans born in America, so you're Moorish American. They don't naturalize of anything. Naturalize for what? You're descendants of Moroccans born in America, which is Morocco. So you're Moroccans. This is your birthright over here. You are Hiram Abif. This is your compass and square and gavel and all that stuff. You know, some Europeans put you on to some Prince Hall, whatever. That's not what it is. They tell you Prince Hall's Benjamin Banneker and all that. Playing you out your own stuff. And you're going with it. Because they got fezzes on. They got fezzes on, so, you know, we're going to hear what they're saying because they got fezzes on. You didn't hear about Dirty Moors? You didn't hear Noble Drew Ali say, read the stuff every meeting that these guys never read? Still today, they don't read it? Still today, the readings to be read in every meeting are not being read. Now, Noble Drew Ali said read. Still today, people are telling Moors that they should naturalize. But Noble Drew Ali said, proclaim your nationality. Proclaim your free national name. But naturalize. Find me naturalizing Noble Drew Ali stuff. Oh no, no, naturalize is in nationality. Because when you look up nationality, it says by birth or naturalization. And since you're not born here, then you aren't, not born here. What do you mean we're not born in Morocco? What do you mean? Elaborate on that. Now, what do you mean about 13th Amendment, 20 sections and all that stuff when it's only 10 amendments in the de jure Constitution? How you get to them three late amendments? How you get all the way there? How you get into all of that? 13 and all this stuff. How you get all there? Seems like some people are trying to play games or whatever. And again, they're playing games because they're losing membership, because everybody's going to House of Ram to learn. They have no time for this BS anymore, singing songs to Noble Drew Ali. They don't got time for that. Some people have serious problems out here that Moorish nationality and birthrights could fix. And about time they take it upon themselves to go study and all that stuff so they can have some remedy in their life. It's about time they take the bull by the horns instead of always waiting for somebody to do something for them. Somebody's going to come do it. Somebody's going to come do it. Right? Okay. And that's how they lay it out here, if you can see this. You can see this. This is how they lay it all out. White, Negro, Japanese, Filipino, Indian, other. White, Negro. For all the people who say they love their Canada stuff and all that. In Canada, they still call you Negro. You're thinking that they're dealing with some black whatever. They're dealing with Negro acts on these people every day, all day, because you're not black. They're not Negro either, but they can have jurisdiction over you by saying Negro on the form, because everybody else has nationality except the Negro and the Negro. And then you already know that they're not talking about their skin is white, that's why they're white people. And again, that's a reference point. So you know why the importance of Moorish nationality and birthrights out here in Canaanland, because they got you down as Negro. You can claim conscious and all that BS all you want. You can claim Hebrew and all that crap if you want. But none of those are nationality either. And I don't see none of those on the list. You think you're going to put other and you're going to put Hebrew Israelite there, and these people are not going to go check off that you're a Negro after you put the other? Because they already know. And they already know you don't know how to live within contracts because you didn't do the critical things that had to be done on that thing before you checked off the stuff, because you didn't have a Moorish mindset. You still have Negro mind, but you're calling yourself something that you think that's your identity, when it's all illusion. Let these old dirty Moors looking with a new face play you, and don't let these new people who they got baby face play you. Let these newbies play you. No hair under their arm. They're talking about they're gonna teach you something. They just started learning something yesterday. And they know. They know. Right? Going all these clowns. Why don't you go support Brother Hassan Ghazi Al-Bey? How about that? How about Saturday, April 21st, 1 to 5 p.m., you go to the House of Reawakening Minds that's taking all these dirty Moors membership. Now they're mad, right? They're mad. They don't want to come home to get the true knowledge. They want to keep playing games, right? There's a small tuition of 52 notes in lieu of lawful money. And the class is an astrology 101 workshop. Brother Hassan Ghazi Albay. You can email HASANGHAZIELBEY @gmail.com. HASANGHAZIELBEY @gmail.com. There's only 40 seats available, so first come, first serve. There will be vegan cuisine served, by Drop Squad Kitchen, if I'm not mistaken, so you can see where the energy lies with, right? You can see that, the energy is riding with Hassan Bey, knows Cujo L. Cujo L been on Abundance Child stuff with Alim El Bey and other Moors, right? See how the clusters, and then see the cluster way over there that you think they're down with some unity. If they're down with unity, what are they doing way over there talking BS about Cujo? Why? Why are they using somewhere where Cujo is not? Because I don't go on Facebook, right? I don't go on Facebook, but they're talking about me there. And then people who used to run with them, who realize that they're a fraud, are providing the vegan cuisine from their vegan restaurant that they own for the Astrology 101 workshop. Remember, these are the same Moors at the House of Reawakening Minds that are stealing all the good Moors back from the church called Moorish Science Temple, number 13, that naturalizes people. Right, so Saturday, April 21st, 1 to 5 p.m., House of Reawakening Minds, 602 Vandever Avenue, Vandever Avenue, and that's near Wilmington, Delaware. Right? You can also make your tuition payment to cash.me /$reawaken, cash.me /$reawaken, or paypal.me /Nailah, GILLIAM. And also too, just for support purposes, if any Moors out there are, feeling like they want to put some finance to something and they don't really know what to put it to because, there's so much whatever, you can put it to the House of Reawakening Minds. They could definitely use the help because they got a big ass building that they're paying for themselves. And it's really interesting that building used to be a church and certain people used to be pastors or whatever like that. And they gave up the BS to start dealing with Moorish nationality and birthrights. So what's wrong with these Masons out here who know that they're Masons, but they're not getting down with nationality and birthrights and teaching what Noble Drew Ali taught? They're trying to teach you in their seminar about their stuff, their process, their way to do things that they really shouldn't be teaching those stuff. Because why are you teaching those things for when Noble Drew Ali brought the stuff that it takes to save the nation? We don't need you. Shut the hell up with your process. Teach us what Noble Drew Ali brought. You're not teaching us that, get the hell out of here. Because nothing else is going to save our people. We know this. So don't forget, Saturday 21st, April 21st, 1 to 5, 602 Vandever Avenue, House of Reawakening Minds. Brother Hassan Ghazi Albay, Astrology 101 workshop. So you could learn something about yourself, which is what the whole point of declaring your nationality and birthrights are, to know yourself. That's the whole point. The whole points are to learn about your nationality and your birthrights. Right? Don't forget, if you just want to support. Oh, let me forget this part. Every student receives study supplies, notebook, compass, 3 small squares, small ruler, pencil, sharpener, eraser, mechanical pencil, small container, replacement lead, 2 adept invoking prepared literature publications, nationality, do you know yours, and astrology 101 workshop study sheets prepared by Brother Hassan Ghazi El-Bey, an innovative haptic educational interactive literature presentation by Brother Hassan Ghazi El-Bey, premier vegan cuisine provided by Drop Squad Kitchen by Mother Abundance Child, and much more. So we suggest that you support people who are doing good. And don't worry about these people doing stuff that they don't want. They can't show you anything. Right? My brother is going to show you something with regard to astrology and how it can apply to your life. If somebody's just going to teach you about fixing your credit, but they're not teaching you how to be right, then you're going to be in debt again tomorrow after you just fix the credit. Which defeats the purpose of fixing the credit. That means that those people just played you because they already know that you have a nigger mind and you're just going to run it back up again after you fix the stuff. They already know. They already know that. So, and then again, if you just want to support, I would say, you know what I mean, put some finance to House of Ram, because everybody knows when you go on YouTube, you watch Nuna GL or you watch Nine Mind or you watch whoever out there that's putting up House of Ram stuff, those stuff have thousands of views. And that's free info. So, you know what I mean? Show support. Don't be a punk ass, not support. You've been watching that stuff for the past how much ever years or whatever like that. You never plugged the site. You never put out any information. You never assisted anybody. You never sent anybody there. You just hogging on the info. You're just getting it for yourself. You know, come on. Show some support. PayPal me, Dr. Nyla Gilliam, or $reawaken at the Cash Me, and show some support. And again, you can email Brother Hassan if you need more information or you didn't get the information right or whatever like that. HASANGHAZIELBEY@gmail.com. HASANGHAZIELBEY@gmail.com. Show some support to people doing something. Supporting BS all the time. And then we call out the BS people are talking about that. Why are you talking, man? You shouldn't. Shut up. Fix your face. Stop. What do you mean, why? We are playing people out here. When you see these guys that are talking about 10-year-old stuff, trying to convince people that Kudrow has some problem going on with some mother and she lost her children. Those children are at the house right now. What are you talking about? She been got those children back like 4 months after all that stuff went down. She had those children back home because she sold out. She sold out the baby father, got him deported to Jamaica. He's in Jamaica right now. Right now he's in Jamaica. Think this is a game out here? He got deported because of her. She ratted on him. I'm telling you, that's what happened. And then I'm getting the mail for her lawyer in her name, her lawyer's papers. How much ever amount that it was that she paid her lawyer. She wasn't more. She didn't want to do that. She took the easy way out. She took the easy way out to get the children back, right? And sold out the Moors. She doesn't say that she's Moor anymore. Children are at the house right now. I'm getting stuff sent to my house that has to do with her and her lawyer fees that she never paid. How am I getting those papers? I nothing to do with that. You don't do lawyers. Right? But I'm just waiting until I see her on the bus so I can give her stuff on the bus so everybody knows. So I still have her stuff. I still have her two papers from her lawyer that got sent to my house. You know. So watch these people online telling you stuff. Right? Watch these people online telling you stuff. I was at work the other day and I was with a lot of Hindu people and I noticed something that struck my brain. I noticed they kept chanting the word named Asha. I asked them what it meant and they said it gives them power. Would that be the same meaning as Ashe? Excuse my spelling if it's wrong. I was just hoping you can give reference points or books to look it up. So what they recognized or relayed to you is exactly what or how you took it. That's their word. That's their amen. That's their hallelujah. Right? Just like you made reference to we'll say Ashe after we beat the drum or call the ancestors. All right, well, that's what they're doing. But check their play. You're at work with them and they're doing that at work. We only do Ashe at the conscious community, whatever. We're not doing ashes every day, all day, like how they're supposed to do it, like how the Hindus are doing it. But again, you know, people with nationalities have a different mindset. People with nationalities have a different mindset. Stateless people, they have a mindset. And the two don't mix. Right? And the fact that they put you on knows that they're Ashas, let them know something about you because they're not revealing those type of information to just anybody who asks them. You have to be on some type of frequency to be able to ask them that and get an answer. They don't deal with Negroes. When it's time to deal with Negroes, they don't speak English all of a sudden. All of a sudden, no English. When Negro want direction somewhere. Right? So yeah, they already gave you a reference point that it's Hindu. So get the studying, have fun. Right? I'm sure you'll find something. They already gave you the reference point. Right? And that reference point is exactly what you need, that it's Hindu. Put this one out there. So someone had a question, question. Islam Moore, I domicile near Arkansas. We already got a Moore we could send you to out there. I recently became knowledgeable about my Moorish nationality. Yet, I have been obstructed by de facto colonists and dirty unconscious Moors who have damaged, kidnapped, and falsely imprisoned my son under color of law, color of authority, and office, usurping finances. Actively studying and have compiled several books for a curriculum to teach my children in preparation to take my place amongst the affairs of men in alignment with the divine principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and the prophet, along with our nation, and save myself, my babies, and uplift all humanity. I have handwritten several writs, printed writs, legal notices, declared and proclaim to people on the public record my heritage, allegiance, my own vine and fig tree, meeting of witnesses, etc. Thank you for your work, and due diligence is recognized, and it's an honor to learn truth from nobles such as yourself. I study more daily, and it is well worth it. Best and kindest regards, and my apologies for the winded email. Oh, don't worry about winded emails. That's all good. So we always put out the perspective for our people to know that if you have nigger issues, don't mix your nigger issues with this. If you have some stuff going on and then you stumble upon some video about somebody talking about Moors and sovereignty and paperwork and change this and do that and all that stuff, and you start getting excited talking about, yeah, I'm going to use this to get on my nigger stuff, that ain't really what this is about. All right? Yes, there might be a way that this can assist your situation, but this is only going to assist your situation when you know. Only when you know. Because somebody is not going to do for you what you need to do to save yourself. You're going to do that. Someone's not going to do for you what you need to do to save yourself. You are going to do that. Yeah, well, I got 20 children. I'm not. Well, hey, you got to deal with it. Or, where's the next lifetime? Don't take this that serious this time. Don't take it that serious this time. Pass it on to the 20 children. Let them do something with it. And if you want to do something with it, come back here next time and then do something. Or throw it all on them. Make sure that they know exactly what this is. Since you didn't get to know, don't let them be burdened because you were ignorant of certain things. Take this and give it to them like you were supposed to get it. Yeah, it's open now. Right? Do it like how you were supposed to get it. So that way, it would be appreciated when you see them being a Moor, but they're this big, but they're being a Moor when you were supposed to be a Moor or whatever. Yes. Right? Yes, good. You just put it over there. No respect. So him back up. Oh, you're good for 5 minutes? All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it's all about making sure that if you got stuff going on, that you know how you're gonna remedy. Like you know how you're not gonna remedy. You're not gonna remedy because, oh yeah, YouTube said. I was watching YouTube and this guy said that whatever, and then you're thinking that that's how you're gonna get out of your BS that you're in. That's not really how it's gonna go. Because as soon as you start saying that somebody, whatever, as soon as you start going there, you already switched the stuff off and nothing's gonna work. Nothing's gonna work. That's how we say it, because we know that people are spoiled in the new age. When we wanted to know, you have to go to the library for 9 hours. You have to do a work shift at the library if you wanted to know something. And you have all the books piled up around you or whatever like that. People looking at you crazy. Like, who is this guy? That's how it was, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, when we studied metaphysics and all that type of stuff. Matter of fact, when we used to go to Root's house, who's sitting right on the other side of the camera, and we used to watch Ashra Kwesi videos for hours. VHS, tape after tape, full tape. Tape's done, next tape. Tape's done, sun's coming up, next tape. Watching tape. Sun's going down, moon, tapes. Mom's upstairs cooking food, all that stuff. And we're just getting fat, getting knowledge. Just because. What else are we going to do? Ain't no internet or whatever to get this knowledge. You have to watch the full lecture. Then you take your notes, then you're going to go study, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to watch that same thing maybe 3-4 times. The whole 8-hour tape again, 3-4 times. That's what studying used to be. Studying's not that anymore. Just click, put keyword or whatever like that, and they'll give you 50, 100 pages of stuff relative to what you're looking for. And all you have to do is, it'll have the stuff highlighted for you where it says the keyword and all of that. You don't have to do jack right now. Information just given to you. Then you get so much information, you're like Atlas with this info and crushing yourself. Because without application, without being an operative Mason, that's just data. You're just collecting stuff. You're just a hoarder. Because when you apply, then you get rid of stuff that you're not really using. You make room so you can put more stuff. Which is the whole point of being in this existence or whatever like that, to keep on getting more stuff. Be a sponge mind. Not SpongeBob, be a sponge mind. Even though SpongeBob has a fez and all that stuff. Don't be a SpongeBob. Even though his fez is up.
I'm going to show you on a map according to SpongeBob's.
SpongeBob got maps now.
I got a picture of a map that they flashed on one of their episodes that was like, oh,
all right. So they have to know something. Right? Like dealing with the constant battles with having the battles with these people is because you're mixing nigger stuff with the stuff. Or you're not knowing before you're trying to use this information to get out of something. If you're going to use this information to get out of something, you have to know first. Because you knowing this information is what is going to make whatever you present to these people work. Or they're just trying to railroad you because they already know that you got this thing locked down. And if they give it up, then it's really over for them because you're probably going to put it out there that you gave it up. Just like, which is why, again, it's so hard for Moors now, right? Mother Jamila and those Moors who they went to Wells Fargo, got their stuff discharged using writs, gave Moors who, they thought that they can trust these Moors and stuff like that, gave Moors the papers as a reference point for them to know, hey, this is how the stuff, right? What they do, they're calling up people saying, look what you did for these people, why don't you do that for my stuff? Opposed to them going through the process that they have in their hand of how to get the debt eliminated or whatever. Opposed to doing the work, they looked at the thing and called up the people who discharged the other people's stuff and told them, why don't they do that for me? Opposed to them doing the process. This is why Moors take this info, they go underground, and then people go, well, I want to find out about, I want to get my own plates, and I want to do all this stuff that's, what should want to do as Moors. Yeah, you should want to do those things, but I don't want to do certain things right now. It's really not in your best interest right now at this moment. It sounds good on video. It sounds good on some YouTube lecture where this guy not showing any references or he's not showing what happened. You know, like Lanreal Bay showed you, they dragged him out the car and all that stuff. He's put up all the footage. So you know what it is. You're not holding nothing back. We're not gonna, oh yeah, he got dragged on the ground, not talk about it because we want to prove we have some superior whatever as Moors that they don't touch us or whatever. Oh no, they'll put some Moors in the chokehold or whatever. But that doesn't mean that we're not Moors. That doesn't mean we're gonna give up on our birthrights because these guys tried to do some stuff. Right? So you're not gonna do things. First, you're not gonna think that these papers and this whatever is gonna save you. What's really gonna save you is you having knowledge. And then you applying the knowledge is the battling, the battle that you're going to be going through, right? The battle that's not going to be told in words, right? Because it's your knowing is what's going to make you win the battle, right? G.I. Joe knowing is half the battle, and then they talk about they beat Cobra and all that stuff because they knew.
I was watching that at 3 a.m.
Right. That still comes on?
The movie.
Oh, the movie. Okay.
I just sent you the SpongeBob map.
Oh.
I flashed it on the screen. It was during one of the episodes, and I was like, oh, what is this?
The SpongeBob map. All right, so if anybody's seen it, make sure I got this. So there's the SpongeBob map. That looks like, if we're looking at it from the SpongeBob side of it, they're basically looking at the Pacific Ocean as really the center point, and then everything's around that, which would go back to, the land that would be there would be Lemuria. That big space that they're claiming is water. That big gap they're saying is water. Now let's just say there was land there. Then there's no, we're not from everywhere. There's not no, we're all part of this. All the division only comes from the newbies, the people who want to make a name out of this. Like we said, SpongeBob is fez up. Even SpongeBob knows. They don't think, oh yeah, just go research.
I think I saw that episode.
Right? Family Guy, everybody. Fez is up. Everybody knows. Except our people playing games. So we're going to close out with our Moorish science in lyrics. And then all the people thought that, oh yeah, you know what I mean? We're going to analyze some Moorish, whoever, whatever. No, I'm going to go somewhere else with it. Because it's real interesting. Oh yeah, and Nat Turner, the Gat Burner. Why don't you just send the Moore's been telling you in the chat, send your questions to the email. What do you mean Moore's run from questions? How about you don't send questions? Because I've been seeing them giving you the email, and you haven't emailed one question. But you're talking about Moore's are running from answering stuff when we're here live right now, ready to answer you. The email's open, and we ain't got no questions from you. Nat Turner, the Gat Burner. And if you're so Nat Turner, Gat Burner, Nat Turner at least tried to kill some crackers or whatever like that. What have you done with your gat that you're burning? Probably nothing. You probably don't even have a gat. Like, you're just on here, just being a troll. You're probably the one guy, 74 people thumbs up, one guy thumbs down. That must have been you, thumbs downing. And why are you around here? If you don't want nothing to do with this, then go on some black channel. Go get some black stuff going on. So we're going to go to My Life I Make, Spiritual Reflections Inspired by Bob Marley Lyrics. Laurie Faith, Laurisphaith. And let's see if Bob was on some more science or if he was on some black BS. Let's see. One drop. Line. Pull your rights from wrong. Pull your rights from wrong. Now, the fact that he's talking rights and not privileges, that means he wasn't naturalized. And if he wasn't naturalized, then that means he was national if he's talking about rights. And if we look at reggae as a country or whatever, Bob Marley is probably one of its most prominent leaders. And everybody's going to take him serious. If we look at reggae as a country. And we look at all the different reggae artists as having some type of stake in this country, like we look at prime ministers and presidents and governors and whatever, Bob Marley will be up there. As far as in the reggae world, the reggae country, right? Pull your rights from wrong. That's one. Oh, this one's definitely more science. There's a natural mystic flowing through the air. If you listen carefully now, you will hear. Isn't that played every Tuesday as the intro music on Moorish Heritage and History School, Blog Talk Radio? They've been playing that for years, haven't they? You hear anybody else ever use that as intro music? You hear anybody else even make reference to the divine message in that song? That there's a natural mystic flowing through the air. Remember, he's dealing with natural. So if he's talking natural, he's talking law. If he's talking mystic, he's talking occult. If it's a natural mystic, just like Islamic mystic. An Islamic mystic is not a Sunni or a Shiite or one of these guys running around stuff kissing the floor. Right? That's not a mystic of Islam. A mystic of Islam is a Sufi. So if he's talking about natural mystic, then he's way beyond what drum beater people are on. Way beyond that. Because remember, natural also deals with law because there's natural law. And if he knows natural law, then he has to know universal law. He's not going to know natural law and know about natural mystics and all that, but he doesn't know about astrology and he doesn't know about universal law. No way. No way. Right? Many a time I sit and wonder why this race so very hard to run. This race so very hard to run? Why is this race so very hard to run? Because black's not a race. Negro's not a race. African's not a race. None of that BS that people call themselves is a race. There's only one race, the human race. When you look at yourself as human and your race as human, H-U-E, man, you know, not the human as the monster when people talk about the human being monster. So we're not going to say we're human. Not that human. The human before the human. The human. When you see your race as human, that very hard run starts getting easy. Because the human race is divided into nationalities. And everybody who has a nationality, just like we were talking about yesterday, this Korean fried chicken spot or whatever that just opened up out here. Right? Now this is a Korean fried chicken spot. Do you know that people were waiting in line for 4 hours to get some fried chicken? Think about that. Think about, we're not talking about Jordans or whatever like that. We're talking about some fried chicken. We're not talking about Black Friday sale or whatever like that. We're talking about a Korean, not a European, not a whatever, a Korean spot from Korea opened up here. And people were in line for 4 hours to buy fried chicken. For hours. Just think about that, right? And then keep in mind the song I Know, right? Bob Marley, many a time I sit and wonder why this race is so very hard to run. Koreans made $1 billion or something like that of chicken yesterday. That's the next question. Was that even chicken? Because where are they getting all these chickens from? Where are they getting all these chickens from that people are lining up for 4 hours? Yo, where are you getting these chickens from? Because we already know that KFC got chicken. Popeyes got chicken. Who else got chicken? White Castle got chicken. So if these people got all this chicken, somebody said meow.
You see?
It might be roof too, yo. It might be roof. It might be anything, yo. It could be anything. Where they get all this chicken from? 4 hours people waiting. Right? Like obviously, some of it's not chicken. A couple of them in there might be chicken, but there's no way all those are chicken. And then we're making the joke about I can't remember what the hell it was, but it was some movie when they just had a machine that just made the thing, and then you just buzz it and then it just appeared. That's how they're getting the chicken. They got
3D printing.
They got 3D printing chicken. Oh, it's Filipino chicken. It's Filipino. Right?
They could take one of those billion clones and fucking
3D print. 3D print clone of chicken. But they were going in 4 hours for chicken. Crazy. Right? That's the national stuff they're on. That's how they rep their stuff. How we repping our stuff? If they're repping like that for some chicken, how are they repping for some liberation and some rights and whatever? Crazy. Redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Right? More science. Noble Drew Ali told you about mental slavery, that he came to free you from that. Noble Drew Ali told you, know thyself. Bob Marley told you, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. So when you hear Moors telling you about Emancipation Proclamation saved you, that's why you need to naturalize. Remember, Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. You don't need some European whatever to get out of mental slavery. When Drew Ali brought you Everything It Takes to Save a Nation, and Bob Marley backing it up in one of his most popular songs, that you have to emancipate yourself from mental slavery. And none but ourselves can free our minds. Oh, so that means we have obligation to each other, which is the holy covenant of the Asiatic nation. That the brother, sister, whoever, look out for each other, because we're all we got. Even Onyx came and told you, all we got is us. Is not hearing, man? And then they claimed Wu-Tang and they did a remix, All We Got Is Us remix.
Even Michael Jackson said they don't care about us.
Right? Michael Jackson told you they don't care about us. So if they don't care about us, maybe we should care about ourselves a little bit. Just a little bit. Positive vibration. Live if you want to live. How about find the metaphysics in that? Live if you want to live. Who the cap fit? Your worst enemy could be your best friend, and your best friend your worst enemy. Right? Exodus. Open your eyes and look within. That's definitely some mysticism right there. That's definitely some mysticism. That's not illusion. That's definitely mysticism. Right? Tallahassee triplet. Okay, we're gonna show this just because. We're gonna show this just because. There's your chicken right
I was just thinking about you. I had that video on my phone and I was just thinking. I got another one for you. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh my gosh.
Let me see if I can find this.
They're tripping out here.
I saw that one.
Just so you know, that's your chicken right there. There is your chicken. I don't know how they do it.
Let's find the next one.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it, but they're good. They're real good. They are real good. Whoo! Fried. They even take the fur off.
Motherfuckers even dipping it in the vinaigrette.
Dipping it in a vinaigrette. Not even taking the fur off. Just deal with that kiss. That's all. Could you be loved? You ain't gonna miss your water until your well runs dry. You ain't gonna miss your water until your well runs dry. All you people out there playing around like, being more, we don't gotta do that right now and whatever. We don't gotta have nothing to do with that right now. We're about getting this whatever else you're getting out here. All right. When the well runs dry, you're gonna be running to the Moors for water. And we might not have a bucket because the angel took it. Sorry. Sorry. Could you be loved? So while you point your fingers, someone else is judging you. So while you point your fingers, someone else is judging you. Right? Which is just law of balance, don't get it twisted. Some people need to be told where to go. Don't worry about somebody judging you. Because they already know thou shalt not judge. So if they're judging you, that's already letting you know what's up. And then we're not on some judging anybody, you know.
Okay.
He's going in. What is that he's eating?
I think it's a baby octopus, but it's alive.
That is crazy. Like he's just
You know,
trying to kill it.
Wrap around his nose. Wrap around
Just trying to kill it.
Shit. The food is
what
at the table
is
running.
that? How is the food
At the table running.
running? What's that called? Is that called something?
I don't know, but I'm gonna send it to you.
Because I don't know if anybody wants to watch that one. That one there, when you have the boiling oil on the table, and then you have the bowl of stuff, and then you throw the bowl of stuff in the oil and cover it, and stuff's coming out of the thing, you know it's time to leave that restaurant right there.
Yeah, the shit is crawling out of his plate.
You know it's time to leave that restaurant right there. Right, yeah. Oh, that goes right to this one. Think you're in heaven, but you're living in hell. The moving food. The moving food. Like, we're not talking about some little moving. We're talking about running across the table. The stuff is moving. Wow.
God.
They are serious. Watch where you eat. It might not be chicken. Just saying.
This guy's sauteing maggots.
Just saying.
And larvae. What the
Just saying. Crazy. That's what you're up against. If your mind's not right. Yep. I got the fruits. I got the fruits and the veggies and the water. We're good. We're good.
Yo, that looks like centipede.
Yeah, that looks like centipedes or whatever.
Sauteed centipede.
Sauteed centipede.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
They're not cool at all. They are going in right now. Anything. That's, anything. Anything. Like anything? It can't be anything. But then, if somebody's, is this life really about, living long? Because, you have some people there at 80 or whatever, they say, hey, man, you know what I mean? You've been eating grasshoppers, larvae, and all that stuff. You haven't touched no vegetables ever. All we eat is grasshoppers and live octopuses. And they're here. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Got a couple more of these. Running away. It is better to live on the rooftop than to live in a house full of confusion. It is better to live on the rooftop than to live in a house full of confusion. Now again, bringing it back to the moral science that's being taught. It's not the house that's confused. It's not the temple that's the problem. It's the ones who have been inside of it, not doing their job. That's the problem. It's not the house of confusion because the house is confused. It's not the house. It's not the building. It's the individuals running it. And people have taken the perspective that they'd rather be on the roof than go to the temple, when that's not really the perspective. What you should do is go to the temple and pull out those people that are causing the confusion. Right? Life is one big road with lots of signs. Wake up and live. Could you be loved? Don't let them change you or even rearrange you. Don't let them change you or even rearrange you, especially when you get on more science or whatever like that. They'll try their stuff to make you fold. Don't fold. And then keep in mind that, you know, one of his sons did an album with the individual who told you you're thinking like the colonists till Noble Drew Ali started dropping it. And then that's one of the best albums ever of all time. You're not trying to tell you something? They're on the science? If you hear that album, you know that they're on the science. You know they're onto something. And then again, it's all the same frequency. It's all the same energy. Positive vibration. You just can't live that negative way. Make way for the positive day. You just can't live that negative way. Don't even try, because you can't do it anyways. You're not gonna wasting time with the low vibes. Low vibes gonna get you nowhere. The rich man's wealth is in his city. The righteous wealth is in his holy place. And that's the perfect song for all the hard-head, stiff-neck Moors. That's the stiff-neck fool's song. The rich man's wealth is in his city. The righteous wealth is in his holy place. And we'll close out on the truth is an offense, but not a sin. The truth is an offense, but not a sin. And then truth is only an offense to sinners, because obviously they don't want it or they wouldn't be sinning. So let's just check, see if Nat Turner, the Gat Burner, left any questions. And if he didn't leave questions, you already know that dude is a troll, right? And he needs to go back under the bridge, wherever he came from, and take his thumbs down with him. Because you know these trolls out here, but you already know we got the chat muftis. So these trolls never get far. They never get to distract the teacher from doing what the teacher has to do up here, because you already know that there's chat muftis who are going to take anybody's head, Hulk smash anybody that comes in here talking crazy, trying to, you know, disrupt whatever, right? And crazy that you're playing games and stuff like that, and you're talking about Nat Turner Drew, which is typical because, you know, Nat and Turner is some European name, and of course you're going to take Drew. You wouldn't dare take Ali. You wouldn't dare take Noble, right? But we already know how you people do, and we already know why you're in the chat to do whatever it is that you do, that you're never able to do. So, you know, keep playing, but don't worry. We'll be all right as Moors. You know, we don't need army and all that BS. You guys got guns and all that stuff. And, you know, Moors got guns too, but it's not that serious. You know what I mean? Conflict cannot be told in words. This is a new era of time now. And all free men must proclaim and declare who they are. Return to your own vine and fig tree. That's really the atomic bomb on these people. That's the nuclear bomb on them. That's how we get them out of here. If you want to destroy them, they ain't kill nobody. And you guys ain't killing anybody anyway. So get out of here. Matter of fact, we got the perfect closeout song for you gat burners out there. You Nat Turner gat burners that aren't busting your gats at the police or nothing like that. You just on YouTube posing. You're just on Facebook taking posing pictures with guns and not doing nothing, right? And talking about you have constitutional right. Constitutional right doesn't give you right to bear guns. Constitutional right doesn't give you right to bear AR-15. You better go start learning language and stop playing like you know something. Like all these people out here that know nothing. So remember, don't let them tell you about Masonry unless their name is Abdullah El Talib Mozi Bey. Don't let them tell you about Moors and all that type of stuff unless they're proclaimed, declared, they got fezzes up, they got some books out, they got some website, they got something to prove to you that they are who they are. Islam to all the chat muftis for holding it up in the chat today and regulating our little friend there. Peace and love to all Moors, and we'll build Tuesday.
Why you don't pull up on the passenger side of the police car and bust on the police instead of your brother? I've never heard of it. You say you're a gangster. Gangster. Black pop on my ass, y'all just playing the ass pose and frontin', no bustin', no dirty cock gun button. At least Moore's right rich, trying to do something. Pen as my weapon, feathers up and turbans, no bluffing. Don't get it twisted, so or more get handcuffing. Judges dismiss cases, prosecutors cussing. Telling my guys accuse themselves or get sued. Civil right leaders, unconscious blacks marching on news, stopping traffic, or people that didn't kill their sons and daughters. In Canaanland, we call y'all writing out of order. Nationality has me awake like a sleep disorder. While most wear blinders, my peripheral is broader. For the record, I sweat and nervous court reporters. The Admiralty maritime shores, Moors walk on water. Engines return with no kills, no sight blurred. While they stay killing their minds and saying they learn. Why you don't pull up on the passenger side of the police car and bust on the police instead of your brother? I've never heard of it. Say you a gangster. Your forefathers had names before they became slaves. Seems like today it's only nicknames and pain. You should be learning so pain could stop from these vermin. German Nazi Inquisition is enslaving with sermons. Declared independence, still giving Moors reverence. Talking treaties with Muslims that Oval Office entrance. To the entrance masters, keep them docile and passive. Killing them, corralling blacks, acting like hostile fascists. Take oaths to break them, unless it's from the Lord. They give profits, we take them and neglect ancestors. Playing Mr. Puffy, smoking a Dutch from the same master, but you stealing your money for lunch. Wanna drink from their bowl, cause they spike their punch. With Clorox, I'm not guessing, but I have a hunch. I can say I stand up to mercenary punks, while you Facebook posing with blocks cocked and shotguns gone. Why you don't pull up on the passenger side of the police car and bust on the police instead of your brother? I've never heard of it. You say you're a gangster. If you got guns and use them on targets moving, try KKK badge carriers in your hood cruising. I'm not promoting violence, it's a point I'm proving. Moore's methods do work for coons disapproving. Khalid calling you out, but you're attacking the sheep and want to show me how good you are with your hands and feet. Never challenge a cop when they arresting your brother, but we'll wear hoods and hold skittles one after another. Acting with lethal weapons, you Mel Gibsons and gloves. Shot in the back and watching you suffer. Black standing on corners in seconds, life smothered. She forgave him for his son's death. Listen to mother, listen to common exercising his 5 senses. The end racism, stop looking through racial lenses. Look at constitutional, not civil defenses. Stop marching. The only thing that pickets is sensitive. Why you don't pull up on the passenger side of the police car and bust on the police instead of your brother? I've never heard of it. You say you're a gangster. Why you don't pull up on the passenger side of the police car and bust on the police instead of your brother? I've never heard of it. You say you're a gangster. I've never heard of it.